One day I will learn how to make YouTube work, but that day
I mean,
is
we
not
don't call
today.
you a boomer for no reason.
Boomer!
Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. I am your host, Roman. Today we are looking at Secret Invasion, Episode 4, Beloved, which is a reference to a beautiful poem that we get to hear read at least 17 times throughout the episode. Before we roll into the whole thing, let's go around and introduce the panel. With me, as always, he is my partner. He is my wingman. He is the man that stopped me from carpet bombing. Which country did we carpet bomb last time?
Afghanistan.
Was it Afghanistan?
No, I thought it was Iran.
Let's call it Uganda this week. So, welcome to the show once again, Shieldwall. How are you, sir?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for having me on, Roman. It's good to be here. This show is, well, at least this episode was somewhat exciting, and some of the plot is coming together. It's good to be here with the panel, Joker Voice and Josh and Mando and Nomi and the chat. So we got Matt in the chat, so it's going to be we're going to have some information dropped on us, I'm sure.
Very, very nice.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm glad to be here.
Right on, right on. He is the nemesis of the Dark Knight, the scourge of Gotham. He is Joker Voice. Welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you this evening?
What's up, party people? I'm coming in like Roman Reigns. Acknowledge me!
I don't know what that means, but it was exciting.
You're just speechless.
I hear buzzing. I hear buzzing. I don't know what the buzzing is. It's probably in my head.
I didn't do anything. I didn't press the red button this time.
It's probably a scroll.
Okay. It's probably scroll. We'll get to the poll in a second. So she is not just Nomi. She is Nomi the Only, queen of the possum workout. Welcome to the show. Nomi, how are you this week?
I've been doing really good. I'm trying to survive the 5 days that we've been in 100-degree weather, but it's been good.
Baby.
Oh, okay. Like it's waking up is like at 89 degrees.
Yeah.
So, and then it'll go to like 110.
It's brutal.
I mean, I was raised in South Alabama. That's like a nice spring day there.
Well, I'm in Texas, but you don't have to deal with the dry heat. You have humidity.
Humidity makes you feel like you're drowning when you walk around. I think I take the dry heat though.
I don't like heat of any kind, quite honestly. Wet,
Move to
dry.
Alaska then.
Yet here I am in the studio of the Empire, 100 degrees with the ball fan of the Empire operating once again.
And you have a natural glistening to yourself, Roman.
It's just there. It's glow.
It'll be good.
Wonderful glow. I know all about glowing.
Yes, I will be glowing. I may actually slide out of the chair of the Empire at some point during the show. So Nomi, I did want to
That'll be a sight and it will be clipped.
Before we start this, you hadn't been watching this show.
I have.
Well, you have now. So
I
purposes of this show, you
sorry.
watched it. And I'm sorry to have put you through that.
I'm not.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm not.
It was a lot of moments where I'm just staring at my screen like, okay, that could have been better. And that could have not been put in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. That's almost the show in a nutshell.
Yes.
Joe.
Sorry.
So, returning with us once again to endure this shit show, it is our good friend, Josh McDonald. He is not just popped. He is popped by culture. Welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. I mean, let's be honest. I'd be watching this regardless, but at least I have a reason to say I'm watching it to make myself feel a little bit better. And as for your glistening glow, I just thought you had the poop sweats, Roman. So
that's fair enough. I accept that. I did have a triple pepperoni pizza for lunch.
I mean, I had a pepperoni pizza, but it wasn't triple. Are you okay? Do you need to go to the colonoscopy
the
appointment?
short answer to your question is no. And just how un-okay I am will be determined over the next 45 minutes to an hour. So we'll see how it goes.
I had a hamburger last week that was named the Spiteful.
And was it?
Oh God, yes. But it was amazing.
Oh, she will tell you if this is the way. She is back with us again. It is our good friend Untamed Mando. Welcome to the show. Damn it all. How are you?
You know,
no
Joker Voice and I cannot
folks.
be
None.
in the
Zero
same
control.
stream and we not do that.
I know.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. What's up, Arkasul in my chat? I'm happy to be on. As always, the craziness. It's wonderful. I love this panel. Roman, I will never let you live down the first time I was on your channel and you yeeted your stuff out and I was stuck driving the stream solo and I was like, where did you go?
One time.
Wow.
It just happened to be time, but it was yeah,
That should have been us, Mando. That would have been
I
great.
know, right? You and me, it would have been comedy.
Nothing
like
better than being on
gold.
a stream that you can't end.
Right? I'm just like, I can't do anything. I have the leave studio button, but I cannot end the stream. Roman's just gonna stream forever.
It's like Titanic drifting into an iceberg. You just can't turn it at a certain point. So let's say hi to the chat real fast. See who is floating around out there. We have Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000. Okay, welcome to the show. Our good friend Stephen Ransom, my brother to the north, up in the city of devils. Wookie be bad. Welcome, pal. Good to see you out there. America's 2001. Welcome to the show.
He actually is my editor, and we recently uploaded a video of some of my Sea of Thieves shenanigans, and he did a fantastic job editing the video. This is like his second video he's edited for me. He did good.
It's a wonderful job. He's great. I know editors.
I do not have an editor. None of you will find that surprising. It is our often panelist Blair to Blair. He just couldn't do this one. He just couldn't do this one, and I couldn't blame him.
Yeah, he didn't have it in him to watch it.
He didn't. So the man that knows all the things about all the things, Matt the Thad shouldn't be. Welcome, brother. Always good to have you out there. The meme master of the interwebs, Jacob Ironside. Hello, friend. One of my kids from long, long ago. It is Invader Zim. Welcome back. It's good to have you out there. I
still can't believe those in the chat keep like I was like winning and then it was neck and neck and now I'm kind of losing.
Yeah, I know our fault. So
like, what are you talking about? I'm the most suspicious here. I can wear my Mando helmet if that makes me more suspicious.
I resided
Pops is here. Thank you, Pops, for bringing it. Pops is always so nice. We did a couple streams with him. I've done a couple comic streams with him, and Pops is like just so level-headed. I love being on with him because you feel better after coming out of a stream with him. Arkasul.
What's up,
I
Ark?
recognized from
my brother from another mother.
Literary Souls, and I think that is everyone who's out in the chat right now. Welcome all, and we have our poll.
We had a Samuel the infamous on my channel. We got Boosh that just popped in.
And for any of you who are confused, Joker Voice and I are also streaming alongside this. So if any of you are confused, like why don't I see this person in Roman's chat? It's because they're not technically in Roman's chat, but they are in Roman's chat.
Yeah, I've opened it up. So right now we've got the poll going, and it only let me put 4 names on here. So I've got Joker, Mando, Josh, and Shieldwall. I myself can't be a troll, obviously, because I'm the host of the show, and Nomi's just too darn nice. So that left me with the 4 other panelists.
That just
spoken like a true scroll.
Yep, and that just means that Nomi's a super scroll.
Let's keep our comments to ourselves. So Joker is currently just ahead of Mando in the poll, and I will let this thing run over the
Joker and Josh are now beating me. This is sexist. I call sexism. This is not
and
okay.
we've got so Bush McFadden is out there, and Sam Isle, the infamous welcome. So let's get into this, shall we?
I said this in the back, and I'll say it right here. Pretty much everything that we said we would like to see or are going to see happened in this episode.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of surprises, and when we get to the big reveal, I want to talk about that because that big reveal was something that we were all like, week one, we're like, I think this guy's a freaking Skrull, and it was like, duh. So anyway, so we start the episode back in 2012. This is just after the events of the Avengers. And he's meeting up with Priscilla in some, I think it's a French cafe or whatever.
It's in Paris. Yep.
Aren't they all French cafes though?
I mean, isn't the word cafe French?
It is. It means shitty place to meet for coffee.
And you have to pay for the restrooms.
This is true.
So they meet up and they just kind of have a back and forth dialogue while she's reading a book of poetry from an author. I don't remember. One of you, I'm sure, will. Nope.
I always want to say Robert Frost because that's the most famous poet that I know, but I know it's not Robert Frost.
It's Raymond Carver. I think
Raymond Carver. Thank you. And so she reads, the poem that she reads or has him read with her, I guess is called Beloved. I don't know if that's actually the name of the poem. And it goes back and forth, did you accomplish whatever you wanted to? Blah, blah, blah. What did you want out of life? I wanted to feel beloved here on the earth. Some fucking thing. Fine. That's terrific. And so basically
it's so sentimental that we don't even care about because we know she's going to kill him.
And you get another de-aging of Samuel L. Jackson here. And the de-aging isn't terrible. It's all right.
No.
But I know under this de-aging is a fat old Sam Jackson who just doesn't give a fuck. And that's fine. That's fine.
And it's all his fault anyway.
So that scene kind of establishes where we're going. Remember at the end of the last episode, Priscilla made a phone call trying to get a hold of Gimli. And
Gravik.
he ended up on the phone with it sounded like Rhodey. Okay. And so, these events are coming. So you're seeing this little nugget of when the, times were magic between Nick Fury and Priscilla, the Skrull lady. Was there anything more in that scene that I missed, or was that pretty much it?
No,
I think I fell asleep through that.
I'm just looking at Steven's comment there.
Where is Steven? The really?
Great place to be.
Accepted, my friend. Accepted. Raymond Carver.
Make sure your pinky is high while you're drinking your tea. What's up, sir?
Raymond Carver looks like Robert Stack and the dude that hosted America's Most Wanted. That's how I remember him. Tonight on poetry, the poem is Beloved. Have you seen this poem? So anyway.
You should do dramatic readings, Roman. You should go into an emo cafe with a little bidet. Not bidet. Not bidet. What is it
What
called?
kind of place is this, Mando?
A
What kind of place is this?
The little French hats? Yes,
the little French hat. I can't remember. I know it starts with a B.
A beret is very different than a bidet. For those of you in the audience,
so Roman will slip out of his Roman Empire chair and he'll just go to his Roman Empire bidet.
I mean, Roman really do have the poop sweats, and you just don't want to admit it. A bidet.
I mean, you were a sailor, right? You can swap
It's just easy access, Roman.
So, to kind of
every time I go on somebody's stream, I do this to myself.
Right, just like that, folks. Right down into the bidet.
What were you going to say, Josh?
Bidet of the Empire.
I was just going to say, before we move on, one of my complaints about this episode that's going to come up multiple times is going to be... No, I said multiple complaints. Is going to be similar to what I said in the last episode. There's so many scenes that on their own are not bad. They're fine, but they're taking place at the wrong time. This entire scene with the beloved poem would have been perfect had it happened in the previous episode when he saw her in this form for the first time in the 90s. And had she said, "Are you looking for someone?" He was like, "I'm waiting on a friend." And then had they led to, "What are you reading?" And she said this, and then read the poem kind of like, "Are you understanding who I am now?" And had him realize it, it would have been way more intelligent and way more impactful, and we didn't get it.
Accepted. I can't argue any of those points. Yeah, it was like a weird postcard at the beginning of this episode, though, and it's just kind of funny realizing. I mean, this is the Nick Fury coming out of the events of the Avengers.
Yeah,
like right on the heels of the Avengers.
He's just kind of sauntering in like everything, no big deal. Okie dokie. So then we remember Gaia got shot. Also, I mean, that was close to the end of the episode.
Remember, I always said, I was like, nah, she's not gonna stay dead.
No, and again, just like everyone said, "Hey, Cannoli, welcome to the show, buddy."
And I said that she had extremis.
Yep.
Yes. So we were both right.
Everybody's right. And
I was really
wrong.
hoping she was permanently dead.
Yeah, I was fucking hoping she was dead too.
Didn't work out.
So she literally pops up like Jason from Friday the 13th. A couple minutes later, her skin, her skin magically appears as normal again. She's back to being human. Okay, swell. And then it goes back into, I don't know if I captured. Oh, I did. I got it. A flashback. Back.
Of like 5 minutes ago.
Back. To when she was creeping around that lab with lady scientist.
Trained her mind to understand the process.
And it's amazing. She was able to figure all this out, Joker. Like, if I put a bottle of this and a bottle of this and I turn this lever and press this button,
right?
I'm magic.
Didn't she?
And this is when I said, I said, because I had remembered in my review of episode 1 that I thought that they actually played this character out as they were not going to MCU her. Well, it took them 3 episodes later. Enter the MCU.
Didn't she? She get the information on how to do this from that person that was like suck the information out.
She's gonna now be the key to everything because she is the only Super Skrull that's on our side. And she's I bet she's gonna replace Fury. Fury's just gonna go sit in the back burner on the beach, sipping his martini with the little umbrella, and nobody's gonna care.
Was I the only one who was like, "Oh, that scientist was a Skrull" when we saw her in the last episode?
No, yeah, I agree with you, Josh. Yeah,
because I was just like, I don't understand why. I understand now, but it's like if you want her to be a Skrull, why didn't you just have a Skrull working on the science equipment in the last episode?
No, exactly. There's no reason for her not to be a Skrull if she's a fucking Skrull, except if maybe your budget doesn't fit it. I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
Right. They don't want to put them in makeup, so they said that everybody as a quote-unquote soldier has to always be in human form.
Mm-hmm. And they had to use the shells.
Because
I'll accept that.
So that's why. But it's for budgetary and
well, yes, and plus and plus the Skrulls here, they're living in not the greatest place. So to have an actual scientist come in, that takes that takes funds out of their general cash fund for food and to whatnot. So it's better to just absorb her and be a Skrull instead.
I'll absorb her.
I hated this part of the show.
That's what she said.
I like I said, there's another just part of the show that I didn't like.
Does anyone have any predictions of what they think they're going to do with Gaia?
She's well, based on what happens at the end, Fury is now going to have to go to her to have to defeat Gravik.
Yeah,
and she's going to be and she will because MCU. So
I feel like they're either gonna, which either one I could see going. I feel like they're gonna make her like the Skrull Queen, kind of like they had in the comics,
replacing both her pops, not you pops, but and
G-Man,
Nail Breath,
the other guy,
Talos.
Oh, hey,
that is great.
When you sit down and watch it, Just do anything else. Yeah, Zach. It's true. It's true.
I was at work watching this, and I actually wanted to go do work. I was like, I need to get work done, man.
The other shoe that I could see dropping is if they don't go the Skrull Queen route. I almost feel like they're going to try to go an Abigail Brand route and just kind of like merge characters, and then she'll join Fury.
I agree. I think she's going to join Fury, but I think what's going to happen is she's going to become the key to everything. There's something that's going to somehow she's going to get this amazing key or whatever, and it's going to be like, oh, now I have to be the one to fix all of Fury's messes. She's basically going to become Captain Marvel.
She's Neo. She's the one.
Okay. Well, and then when she gets in big trouble, she'll have there'll be a big dragon will come down. Oh, sorry, that's another show.
Yes, and I don't like her. I'm gonna sound horrible when I say these words all out loud together. I don't like her with dark hair. I like her better with the blonde hair,
the wig,
and the dark eyebrows. I think it works better right now, and I know she was small in Game of Thrones as well. Obviously, you can't change the size of the actress, but she seems fucking like really small in the show compared to regular humans. She seems fucking tiny, and it's a little disturbing and off-putting. It's like there's a weird 10-year-old running around the set and just fucking things up. So anyway, she has this scene with her dad, who now that she's not dead, and he's like, "I am so sorry for." I should have never put you in that position in the first place. And she's like, Dad, do you have a fucking plan? And he's like, well, it's basically the same plan I've had for the last 40 years. You know, we'll have this chip we can play. We'll save them all. And she's like, you're a fucking retard, Dad. You know, fucking Gandalf has this plan in place and it's in motion right now. And he's like, well, wait, what? And she fucking walks off. And that's the scene. It's just like
it was at this moment that I'm like, okay, I predict before I got done watching this episode, I predicted what happens to him in the end. I was like, I know what they're gonna do here. Yep, she's gonna, yeah.
This scene made me think this guy used to be their general and their leader.
Right.
Same. Yeah, he is a weak dude. For this whole series, he's been weak.
I mean, I understand not wanting to kill your race, but there is a limit. But this, and Shieldwall, by all means, jump in. But it felt like the idea, his plan, was cocked up by like a 10-year-old.
Well,
yes.
We're going to go talk to the president, and he's going to give us some land.
Yeah. And why the president? The president is the only one in charge of the fucking whole planet Earth. You know, I'm just throwing that out.
That's what it made it sound like, right? And that they were going to.
They can have Guam. I mean, give them Guam.
Hey,
it's fine.
I know someone from Guam. She was a very nice lady. She also scared me because she could crush my hand with her, or my head with her hand.
The Guamanians are a lovely people. They're a large people. They're a lovely people.
Midway, it's fine.
I've lost my train of thought. I got put off by the Guam thing. Anyway, so it's a stupid fucking plan. She tells her it's a stupid fucking plan, and she leaves. So, Nomi, you being with Kotzer new to the show now.
Yes.
How did you feel about the father-daughter relationship between Talos and Gaia?
I don't know. It projects to me like what kids are going through in this generation. Like, yeah, Dad, like I'm smarter than you. You know crap. So I'm gonna go with like another plan. I don't know. It's just very disrespectful because I have a dad that loves me, so I respect him a lot. And then this is just like a spit in the face. And it goes back to the first episode where people were talking about Talos saying like, well, he's a really graceful guy, like he's merciful, and she mocked him. She's like, no, or I can't remember who it was that mocked him. But he's saying like, well, showing mercy is a weakness. So I think that's what she's trying to do with herself. Like respect her dad, but also not respecting her dad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think that plays into the Gen Z kind of trope that everyone has now, that their parents really don't know what they're doing, that the boomers have ruined the world, and the way that everything is set up, you know, nobody can afford a house. And basically their plan didn't work out, so we're gonna have to do our own thing, quiet quit, and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I guess.
And I think that is reflected in the writing here, with that. But then again, it's just art reflecting reality in a way.
So you can clearly. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go.
Oh, I was going to say, so clearly you can tell who wrote to the scripts for this. It's just a bunch of Gen Zers that have daddy issues.
I mean, I have daddy issues too, and my dad and I we're kind of trying to rebuild a relationship, but it's kind of weird. But I will actually say, this father-daughter, but
you're putting in the effort to build that bridge versus her. I'm going to build my own bridge and you're not involved.
Yeah. I mean, I will say he's probably a better dad than my dad was.
I mean, she just did get shot, right? Came back to all that. And she's
everybody's been shot.
What's our plan? And he's like, well, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing or really not have one. So I can it's understandable if you write it that way, why she is like, all right.
They wrote him as a fucking twat, dude. The dude, he is a ballless character. He is a spineless, ballless, dickless, brainless character. He serves very little purpose.
He's a glorified secretary.
Which would be okay as if they had some type of plot device as to why he was this way. If they had some kind of character development.
So I need to ask.
That went that way.
I have to ask the question because I didn't fucking see it, nor will I. Did anybody see Captain Marvel? And it's not a judgment thing. Did anybody see that film?
Talking about the movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the movie because I thought it was going to be important for.
No. We don't even need to comment on that. We can take all of that out. But I want to know specifically the character of Talos in that movie. Was he a giant twat in that as well, or was he have some weight, some merit, some value?
I can't remember. I was too busy being told what a toxic villain.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was all right. He was represented better there than he is here. Because they did the bait and switch, because they start off the film kind of like the comics where you think, they set it up as if the Skrulls are the bad guys, and 3/4 of the way through, it's the switch of oh no, hey, they're not actually the bad guys. The Kree are trying to kill them all. But yeah, I mean, he seemed more authoritative. It seemed like he actually had a plan. He found the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and infiltrated the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. at that time. There were things that he was doing that's okay, that's smart. And here I'm that wasn't smart. That wasn't smart either.
No.
Why would you say that? So.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of like what Disney's doing with all of their Marvel TV show properties. They are tearing down the established heroes and characters so that way they can lift up these trash characters that have no purpose and no meaning to the overall Marvel universe, except for they check the boxes and they're diverse and blah blah blah, and I don't care about all of these strong whammons that I can't relate to because I know I'm not perfect and I shouldn't be able to lift it. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
No, you're good. This to me, even for the good parts, which are very, very limited and almost exclusively to Olivia Colman.
Who's not in this episode.
Who is not in this episode, which means the episode is not as good as the other episodes. But nearly every character in this seems like a filler character. You've got Rhodey, you've got Nick Fury, you have Sonya, that's Olivia Colman's character. But even Talos and Gaia feel very much like filler characters. Gallbladder himself, the main villain in this, feels like a fucking filler character. He's just kind of this dude. I don't feel a particular threat from him. I don't hate him. And you should dislike your villain. I don't even give a fuck about the dude.
Right? I feel nothing. Tell me
I'm wrong.
He's not near sinister enough.
Mm-hmm.
He's more just like a dude that's walking around with a blank stare on his face.
Yes.
He's spiteful, and he just wants to prove it to everybody that he can be spiteful, but with no real balls to it.
He's like a spoiled child throwing a temper tantrum.
Yes.
And like if I'm gonna be honest, the actions that have taken place again are fine. It's just like they're missing context. You talked about characters feeling like filler characters. Yes. It's because of how they're written. We're also not getting to see, if we got to see Gravik mapping out his plan, kind of predicting what their moves would be and showing like we're gonna do this, and then you understand why he's doing that, and then he does it again. It would build more tension. Like if your heroes are walking into something that's most likely not going to go well, you're going to be like, oh shit, how is this going to end? Yeah. But it doesn't. Instead, the writers are approaching this by paint by number of like, well, we need a conflict. This will happen, but there's no actual setup. You get a scene talking about what we're about to see, and then you see it.
And much like every previous episode, the first 2/3 of this is all tell and no show.
Yeah.
Right. And I think this suffers from the problem of only being a short number of episodes, so they can't expand on backstory, character development.
I mean, I would
2 hours. In 2 hours, you can go from zero to you cry when characters die in a 2 hour. Yeah. They have 6 fucking hours to deal with these characters. And it's like you're dealing with mannequins or paper mache. They paint a character up, they shove it in front of you, they tell you this is what it is, but there's nothing behind it. It's hollow. So that the fact that they had 6 hours to do this, man, the AI wasn't doing its job, or the writers who are now on strike, and the actors who are also now on strike. Sorry, you got, as Captain America once said, you need to do better, Marvel. So
I thought that was Captain Falcon that said that.
I did the quotes. I did the air quotes around it.
Roman, I just want 2 comments. One, I wanted to correct you. It's not 6 hours, because this episode was, I think, less than 30 minutes once you took out the the teaser.
It felt like a fucking hour, Josh. It felt like an hour.
But you can take 6 episode stories and deliver a good story, even with a decently represented ensemble. Yes. And I would say, look, there's a show on Netflix right now. It's a BBC show called The Bodyguard. It's a 6 episode miniseries. It's freaking fantastic. Go watch it. And then you have something like Terminal List. And I'm mentioning these 2 because they're similar in tone. Terminal List is 8 episodes, but I think it's 8 episodes, but it's excellent. And you've got so many supporting characters that are fully realized. You get a lot of detail, and it's just everything here is just surface. That's all we're getting. Surface.
And back in the day, you had the mini series events like Shogun. You like Roots. You had amazing character driven series as well. Well, I'm just saying. You're not wrong there, Zach.
I still have the question. Was he always a Skrull? Was he always a Skrull?
I would say no.
I'm going to say no.
I would say no.
Where is the real one then? I want.
Here, he's in a pod like all the other people, probably. I don't imagine they've killed him off yet. But right now, this is when you get the big reveal that Rhodey is actually a Skrull, which is something that most of us had been at least speculating on since episode 1.
Now, my question is this: when it's revealed that Rhodey is a Skrull, the Skrull wraps the towel around their top like a female.
It's a female Skrull.
It's Skrull being a dude.
Yeah,
I thought it was Fury's wife.
No, so the Skrull that is Don Cheadle's character is a female.
Okay.
It makes me wonder if Talos' wife actually died, and if this is Talos' wife. Because it seems like the type of thing they would do, try to pull like the Star Wars. You're to Gaia. Oh, your parents not actually dead. It's the female version of Star Wars with Darth Vader and Luke, pretty much.
Pops Terrence Howard should show up. That would be badass. He's like, I'm the real Rhodey, and like put a bullet in his head.
Yeah, someone posted on Twitter they had a meme of Terrence Howard like waking up in a hospital bed, and then someone's like, "Bad news, Tony's dead." And he's like, "Who?"
Oh man. So this scene. Wait, what? No.
Yes, Mag. Yes. You found out the
least
truth.
Likely person to be a Skrull. Actually, Nomi is the least likely person to be a Skrull. I am the second least likely.
Dirty little Skrull.
Tisk.
So this scene, this is the useless scene where basically not Rhodey tells not Priscilla that she needs to go kill her husband, and if she doesn't, then they're going to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Which is to be expected.
Here's the thing. This is just Roman, my little tiny brain doing hamster wheels.
Make sure the hamster doesn't fall off the wheel.
This was the best fucking plan they could come up with to kill Nick Fury. That motherfucker makes zero effort to hide. He is as obvious as he possibly could be in almost any given situation. You just need to wait around long enough on pretty much any street in London, Russia, wherever. You'll see him sauntering by. Just put a bullet in him at that point. You don't need this.
I was always wondering
scheme.
what part of the jewelry is the thing in? That's what I want to know. I was curious the whole time. Is it in her earrings?
Yes. So,
in her ring?
While that conversation is happening, the master spy is listening. He probably put it in maybe her wedding ring, something that she always
I know what I was
will
thinking
have with her. So and
I really like those earbuds. I want some.
He seems taken aback by this.
No, how could this be? No,
well, I didn't see this coming.
I think Rhodey wanted her to kill him as a loyalty test.
Oh,
yeah.
I accept that. That is the best version of this that I can see. I accept that. Josh, what do you have?
Oh, the other thing I was going to say is Rhodey makes a comment too. This has nothing to do with Gravik. I'm telling you to kill him. Which that's why it made me wonder: is this Talos's wife? Because it makes it seem like whoever this female Skrull is high enough and powerful enough, at least politically powerful enough, to have an agenda to go against Gravik and not completely get shot down for it. But then she says stuff like DDT off the top rope, like the Undertaker. It was crazy.
And I'm like, bothered me a lot, dude.
Again, are we 10? Like,
okay, that
dialogue was really, really weird.
It was so strange.
I'm also wondering, like, who is this guy? Like, is he like the right hand of Gravik that nobody else knew about? Like, I want to know what his actual part is, and where is the real? What was his name? Dang it!
Which character?
Iron Man's sidekick.
Oh, the real Rhodey.
Rhodey. James Rhodes.
Yes,
I'm gonna assume that they took Rhodey somewhere in between Endgame and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It just seems like that's the obvious kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you've got that big dead zone that we don't know what was going on in Marvel at that point. So, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I also still don't fully understand what James Rhodes' role is with the president. He's just
like the Secretary of Defense, but
not the Secretary of Defense, because we talked about this a little bit last week. I mean, is he National Security Advisor? SecDef, fucking random. You can't just be fucking War Machine. That's not a cabinet member.
I mean, if we've learned anything over the past few years, it's that those special people in California have no idea how government works, have no idea what policies actually do. So, I mean, I'd like to say I'm shocked, but I'm not.
No, you're right. This is written by someone who has absolutely no fucking idea how anything works. And actually, the next few scenes, after we get through the Fury scene, it really shows you an awful lot of what I'm going to call bad writing.
The other thing is that Rhodey is still a colonel. Right. So, I mean,
what the fuck?
You can have like aides that are colonels, and they can be involved in a lot of stuff in real life. They can be in charge.
But Rhodey couldn't get a fucking promotion over all these years. He's not General Rhodes by this point.
Right. Exactly.
Come on. That's just fucking stupid. Anyway, so Nick is dismayed that his not wife is not going to kill him because she was ordered by not Rhodey.
I will say. Oh, yes. I was just gonna say that church scene, in my opinion, was actually the best written scene, and it still wasn't even great.
Even off the top rope, like the Undertaker or whatever.
If you take out that one line, I think that exchange was the best written exchange.
Because that line was bad.
And Matt gave us the fact here that the Undertaker has never actually
performed
DDT. Lies.
That's
I love that so much.
And to finish my reasoning for that being the best scene, we have to keep in mind the scenes in comparison were like when Gravik's actual right-hand man comes up to him, he's like, we got to talk. We got a problem. And he's like, what? He's like, notice who's not here? Yeah. Gaia. That means something. Oh, yeah, she's the mole. I already took care of that.
I took care of it.
I'm like,
that's it. That was it. That was the whole fucking scene, man. It was like that long.
Welcome to Secret Invasion, written for retards.
Yes, for real.
God.
Like, this plot is so easy. A 5-year-old could get it. Actually, a 5-year-old did write this script.
Or an AI that doesn't know how humans talk to each other. At the end of this scene, remember, they're in a church. They're watching it looks like a choir. It doesn't look like it's a service, but the choir is rehearsing. And
probably for a choir concert. I've been in a couple of those.
But he tells her to enjoy the concert, which was a little bit weird. This is clearly a Catholic church. This isn't one of the and other which there are many of, but this is clearly a Catholic church, and that's something that someone who I am Catholic, so it kind of is like, that's a fucking stupid thing to say. We don't call them concerts in the church. That's not what they're it's all part of the mass process. They're doing it for whatever mass is coming up. That's just
right. But like I have lots of musical friends and a friend who's in a professional choir, and sometimes they will have concerts in like a church building or some sort of cathedral, like for the concert. So it could just be one of those like a choir.
It was more like a cultural event thing.
I may be stuck on an irrelevant thing. I'll pass it over.
They're also called recitals.
We clearly they clearly cut the scene because after they cut, there was more stuff filmed that would have been a guy coming out dressed like a priest, electric guitars, and he would have been like, "No more, Mr. Nice Guy."
That would have made down this the best episode ever.
Well,
we just didn't get it.
Been amazing.
Still better written than that Undertaker line. So Nick Fury's sad. Nick Fury goes home. And he's already in the house when Priscilla gets there, and she's surprised by this.
Because he's not wearing his ring.
Yeah, his ring is in the ring basket where they keep their rings when I guess they go out in public, so no one knows that they are married. She's like, "Did you forget something? Is your hand swollen?" He's like, "Yeah, from fucking because I want to beat you, bitch."
About to smack you.
So they have this kind of false friendly exchange initially. And then they both bring out their guns.
Pew, pew. I am also very glad that they're all Glocks, because Glocks is the best.
This scene took fucking forever.
Yes.
Their dialogue back and forth about, how he should have never married her, blah, blah, blah. It just went on and on and on and on. I was happy when the guns finally came out. So they recite that fucking poem again. By the guy from America's Most Wanted. And at the end of the poem, they both pick up their guns and fire, and that's end of scene. I'm thinking, thank God, someone is gonna fucking be dead here. At least I have that to look forward to. And yet they didn't. They both missed. They both missed on purpose. And to which Fury is like, I don't know if we should get divorced or renew our vows. That's fabulous.
After he just said marrying her was the biggest mistake of his life, he's like, actually, I'm still love you. Like, what is this?
And then as he's walking out, she's like, could you ever have loved the real me? Meaning, I guess, the green lizard lady with the pointy ears. And he's like, I guess we'll never know. And
which also, that makes me wonder, did he know that she was a Skrull this whole time? If he did, why did he say that? Like, what do you mean, her real self? Like, you knew she was a Skrull.
One,
hey, the IGP Mexican is out there. Welcome, IGP.
think what she meant is like, you know,
IGP. Sorry,
in living all the time in green scroll form, whereas for the most part she just kept this form. At least I'm just assuming. I mean, you know, what were they doing in the bedroom? Who knows?
It still doesn't answer our question about scroll biology.
Yes,
anatomy.
we don't know about that, and I assume it takes. But how does it know? I don't know. And quite honestly,
because
we must know how it works.
Because scrolls are the trans allegory now for Marvel.
Oh, okay. You know what? I hadn't.
I
maybe it was intentional.
On that
maybe it wasn't.
I just didn't want to bring it up.
And can you imagine the STDs coming from scrolls?
Yeah, that's true.
You got some weird stuff going on down below, sir. I'm sorry. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
It might be a fungus. We don't know. But it does move on its own, and it transferred into a bunny for
exactly.
We don't know why that happened.
Fury's got Florkin fever.
So this is another scene.
Scratched.
Yeah, this is another scene where I feel if it had taken place in a different episode at a different time, it would have made more sense. At least half of it. If you had the exchange about, you know, loving me, did you ever love me? If you'd taken that bit of the dialogue, put it in episode 2 when they first saw each other again, and she's like, "Where's your wedding ring?" It would have made more sense. Then you would have had episode 3 where I said add in the beloved conversation when they're in the 70s or the 90s. And then if you had just had her come home and he's there and they didn't say a word because they both knew, just looking at each other, they knew. And if she started reciting that poem and then he answered back, and then at the end they pulled out the guns and shot. And then they did the whole, like, I don't know if this means we should get married or get a divorce, which I honestly think is a good line. They both went to kill each other and couldn't.
Jesus.
Like, last minute, they couldn't. And then when she was like, could have you ever loved me? If he just didn't say a word and walked out, it would have been a good scene.
No, you're right. You know, you don't need to fill. And that's what they did with this because this scene, I don't know how fucking long it was. Like I said, it felt a lot longer than it needed to be. But if you broke it down to those elements, Josh, yeah, it's a vastly improved scene, and I don't have to watch the show as long, which is also a win for me, the viewer. So anyway, Nick Fury leaves, and I enjoyed this next scene a little bit, but then it didn't go the way I wanted it to, so then I fucking hated it. So it started off okay.
Oh, this was cringy.
So
again, was cringy.
I was laughing the whole time at this. I was like, "Oh, this is supposed to be a serious scene."
So Nick obviously knows that Rhodey is a Skrull now, and he's coming in here for purposes we're not entirely sure of. So he breaks into Rhodey's hotel suite, which Rhodey needs to say at least 17 times. They have a little fun banter back and forth between two gentlemen. As they are, which again is very fucking forced, but that's fine. They're sharing a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, so he's got the bottle, he's got 2 glasses that's already poured, he gives it to Rhodey, and Rhodey jokes, is it poisoned? And Nick's like, no, of course it's not poison, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, well, what if I dump it out and get another one? He's like, whoa. He's like, if you waste any of this, because it's a $5,000 bottle. That's a lot of money you're pouring down the drain.
Is that a real brand of
Happy Van Winkle? Yeah, no, it absolutely is. Yes. And as a man who enjoys whiskeys.
Wow, Zim. Oh, wow. That's youch. Wow.
Wait. What terrible thing did Zim say? Oh, fuck, Zim. No. Oh. Well, it's been good speaking with you tonight, folks. That's it for Roman of the Empire, and the rest of us will see you sometime. Anyway, God. So they have this dialogue, and basically it comes out that Nick, he never flat out says he knows he's a Skrull. But it's like right there. And they
Did
go
anyone
back and
feel that-
forth.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did anyone feel that Rhodey's dialogue had turned into a 10-year-old?
Yeah, he was a real asshole this whole time.
Right?
And
It's just like, I'm just so mad and angry.
The
Because
original
this stuff is
MCU
fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
I
original
know.
MCU,
Oh, I
Rhodey
know.
was never like this
No.
at all.
No.
No. Rhodey, he was always stoic.
This
not.
dude is not.
I mean,
acting
he'd
like
have like a couple of quips here and there, you know, like some dry humor, but like
No, but it was like one-liners. It wasn't a continuous. So basically, Nick was trying to get Rhodey to let him back. He knew it was not going to happen. There was a whole point to this evolution. And then Rhodey brings up the footage from the bombing at whatever the Russian event was,
Russia.
where
Russia.
Maria Hill got killed, and it was the Skrull as Nick Fury shooting Maria Hill. And he's like, well, if I bring this up, you're done. It's all over. But I'm going to keep this bottle. You be on your way, little fella, basically. What I had hoped was going to happen, I actually, and this is just me, I was hoping it was actually poison. I was hoping it was poison, and as Nick walks out, Rhodey starts turning green and twitching, and Nick's like, enjoy the fucking pappy, asshole. And that's the end of the scene. That would have been more satisfying to me. Instead, it turns out that he put some kind of liquid tracker in it.
Which he says. He's like, yeah, I didn't poison it, but I put some nano trackers. Like,
yeah.
And
Okay.
Rhodey's like, oh, it's a joke. You
everybody
can't
laughs.
do that.
Well,
Everybody laughs.
Here's the thing about this scene is at first when he thinks it's poison, Nick is like, hey, here's your health, and he drinks it, and Rhodey pretends like he drinks it, and then just puts it in his mouth and sets it down like a smart person.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, he drinks out of it. I'm like, no, man. If you suspect it's poison, you take nothing from this dude.
God, I wish it had been poisoned. It would have been so much better if it had been poisoned.
So
enjoy the
just
pappy,
like,
motherfucker. Boom, dead. That would have been great. Good Nick Fury moment.
It's like saying, this show probably sucks. I'm not going to watch it. And then immediately you turn around and like turn the TV on, and they're like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to watch Secret Invasion.
Shield. That's like 60% of Twitter, man. Be careful.
Right. What he should have done is like, as he took it, turn around with his gun and go pew pew, bye mother effer, and just walk out.
I understand keeping him alive because he's trying to track certain things. I mean, I know tracker, but I think he's trying to figure certain moves out. So this will kind of let him figure out some other plays by following him.
And
what happens when he poops the tracker out?
Oh, that too. I did think that. I was like, isn't this going to stay in the system for like maybe 24 hours?
As long, yeah, exactly.
It depends how regular he is.
The bladder is, but yeah.
Also, can we imagine how much more exciting this show would have been if in the second episode they just this Skrull Rhodey, unknowns to at the time, we'll say it was anonymously leaked, the footage of Fury shooting Maria Hill, because then you'd have the U.S. government coming for Fury.
And
then that still might be a possibility
half-ass hunting Fury
of it happening.
I mean, we got 2 episodes.
You never know what they're going to do. But
everyone's going to die.
Well, maybe. But ultimately, so he gives them the liquid tracker. They go. Okay, so then there's. I don't have the stills of it, but they're now tracking the president's caravan. So Rhodey meets up with the president at some airfield and is awful chatty, trying to give him advice on how he's supposed to deal with the Russians. And the president's like, dude, are you fucking drunk? Did you have half a bottle of, bourbon before the meeting? And Rhodey, and I don't know why Rhodey just seems oblivious to the fact that you're showing up to me with the president. Yeah, get me a mint like it's and then open the door. He tells the guy to open the door.
And this dude has a broken arm. He wouldn't be on any kind of security detail with an arm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that would be ableist if we only had people who were able to open the things. Had both their working hands, both of their working feet.
His gun arm is in a sling.
This guy's clearly a Skrull too, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Probably.
And his driver, because he's openly on the phone with both of them there being like, yeah, what do you say, caravan number 4 or whatever?
Yes. Yeah. He's in caravan number 4. And that fucking scene, my God.
So
you watch those cars go for like, it felt like 2 minutes. You're watching this giant line of cars just go, 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 go. You got it from several different angles, from the top, from the side, to the bottom, to the front. It's like, you didn't need all that. That was wildly unnecessary. And then freaking Gimli comes in his helicopter. He's like, remember, we need to make it look like the Russians.
So they just start talking in Russian, and then the
there
Secret
is
Service
nothing
like,
about this attack. Yeah, exactly. There is nothing about this attack that would, aside from them speaking Russian, which doesn't fucking mean anything, which would lead you to believe it's the Russians. It was just terrible. It was terrible. I hated this. There was action, but I didn't like the way any part of this scene.
Nope.
And maybe I'm in the minority on this, and I can accept that. But nope. I thought it was bad action. It was just really poorly choreographed.
It has a lot of problems to start with. You wouldn't have been able to fly helicopters anywhere near this,
right?
Unless there was like other Skrulls colluding and that kind of stuff, which maybe there were. So I guess I can be okay with the helicopters popping out here, but this whole route would have been cleared, all that stuff, and then. It had some cool kind of things like this truck in this picture here that's next to the black car there that actually pops open and like an anti-aircraft missile comes out and starts shooting helicopters down.
Yep. Which
you didn't even really need that. You just shoot it with a bunch of guns. Those helicopters will crash. Helicopters come in. They start shooting everything up. Got, the motorcycle cops. Then, okay, so Gravik comes out. And if you remember from a few episodes ago, when they showed like what they're using the DNA or profiles to make the Super Skrulls, Groot was on the first one, I think. So he's basically has Groot powers, except he's not stuck saying "I am Gravik." But he uses the Groot powers to like grab some guys or something.
To grab some guys,
which would be like, okay, this defeats the whole purpose of, hey, they're Russians.
It's the Russians.
It's the Russians with a Groot guy on it. It's like, okay, what the hell's going on? They're all standing in the middle of the road shooting at each other, like from 10 feet away, not hitting much.
Yep.
It was kind of weird how they were doing it. And I get that, they had budgetary constraints and you got to put everybody in the same shot, and who knows, I'm surprised they were using like real guns at least.
I don't like, I feel like budget as a potential excuse for why this looks bad as far as the action goes is such a shitty excuse, because we see network TV shows that have a way less budget per episode.
Yep.
That do it so much
better. Way better.
I'm not saying it was, well, I guess for them it was budgetary constraint, or they didn't know what they were doing. Whatever.
100%. It was whoever their stunt coordinators were. It's them and the director of the series, Alim Sali, whatever his name is. Yeah, he's terrible.
He's a fucking horrible director.
I have noticed that he has been the director, or whoever that person is, has been the director consistently, which I like. At least have a consistent director.
Do you?
Well, I mean, the show's dog crap, but at least they're not changing it up.
Dog crap. And then the two deadliest men in the world appear on the battlefield. Look at these two. It's like
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Like two homeless guys, found a stash of weapons and wandered out into the fight. This was just terrible, terrible, terrible. Nick, whips out a fucking stinger or whatever it is and shoots down a helicopter. And then Talos, he doesn't look good here. He doesn't look good. They just seem so out of place in the action, poor as it was, of this scene. I just thought it was just like, geez, she just inserted these two old dudes. Anybody on the other side worth their salt could have had these two down like that. 5 seconds. They enter the battlefield, they're fucking dead. But no. They hobble around out there and drag the scene out even longer. I hated that part even more than I hated most of it, which is impressive. Oh, God. Anyway,
He also dies like a little pussy.
Was that gun that
Yeah.
that he got, was that some kind of like Stark Tech or something? It must have been, because it was like a mini missile launcher that he used to shoot down a helicopter.
Oh, something like that, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, they go to rescue the president. You know, everybody's shooting.
Pew, pew,
Talos
pew, pew.
Talos is banging on the window because, you know, he's got super Skrull strength. He gets shot by, I think it's what's his name's number 2 guy. Basically, it's like it doesn't look like it's a kill shot. It's like a shoulder shot or something. But he's injured and he starts kind of losing his humanness, and going all greeny shit. And they get freaked out a little bit. And then Nick Fury's like, oh, he's with me. So they get the president out. They get him into, you know, Nick's car. But then, so Talos is all green. This guy is supposed to be helping him, but turns out it's not a dude. It's Gravik.
Oh no! Who could have predicted this?
Oh my god! Shocking!
Oh my god!
He stabs him. Oh no!
Wait a second. How does he go from I'm Groot in the middle of the firefight to just walking up and be like, I'm going to be this guy now? It just didn't track with me.
And clearly, hold on, he's having to come from this side where they're shooting, right? Also, the president was behind these guys, and his right-hand man shot Gravik before he got there. How did that guy sneak all the way around to this angle? And then after this,
you're asking too many intelligent questions. That's the problem. You're thinking about it.
It's still going on around them. It's just absurd.
Oh yeah. And then Fury starts shooting Gravik from this angle. And so these American and British soldiers, which are behind Gravik, have gunshots coming towards them, and none of them acknowledge it. I'm like,
they just keep moving on. Like, what? Somebody is behind your lines, and you're not gonna like, oh no, someone is behind our lines. We need to take care of this. No, stay focused on the person in front of you while the president starts to die. Or
I was just really hoping that that Fury would just start going, say what, motherfucker? Do something, you know?
I got you.
Interesting.
This is it. This is the end of the episode. Gravik's dead.
They don't walk by.
It is just
right.
like,
and then he's
these
like,
soldiers have probably never seen one of these things before, and they're just like, oh, it's dead green guy. It's fine.
You guys see the dead green guy too, right? That's not just me.
And Fury had time to get him. It wasn't like there was a bunch else going on.
No,
he could have grabbed him and put him in the car.
He didn't have to choose between the president and his friend. He didn't really. It's like the Titanic. There was enough room on the door.
Here's the
It was just fucking terrible.
I'll bring it up after we wrap up the whole thing.
Obviously, so Nomi, being new to the show, but having had endured it over the last couple of days all at once, which is far worse than the weekly.
Oh, I watched it all today.
Oh no! Oh,
you deserve a prize.
That's why she's so quiet.
Show our love and appreciation for your mental stability and your mental health.
So
do you need a hug? Do you need a headache to hold?
That's
Nomi, I just wanted you to know you were in a safe space.
We are friends. We're here to help. I have a friend who's a counselor. I can get her on the line.
I went to the gym earlier, and I knocked it out in the gym for 2 hours, so I think I'm okay. So that photo you saw on Twitter, that was me mentaling out of me sitting down and watching this in one sitting.
Then I could just imagine that your workout must have just been intense just because of the sheer hatred you must have felt through this.
I really
run 5 miles now.
It boiled my blood. Like, oh my gosh, can this show?
Bro, you should have done. You should have been powerlifting while watching this.
I did dumbbells.
No spotter. Just.
Yeah. I didn't even need pre-workout. I just went in like that.
Yes.
Like I already had it.
Do you need the smelling
salt?
salts? Did you do any of the smelling salts, or was this your smelling
Oh.
salt?
This was my
Nomi's-
smelling salt.
Nomi's at the punching bag like, fuck you, Secret Invasion. And then some guy in the gym were like, oh my god, she's not happy that Talos died.
I know.
I could just imagine people at the gym like, oh my gosh, she's like really intense today. Like, I'm kind of worried. Is she okay?
Yeah.
They get their fight with her boyfriend. Girl, he does not deserve you.
Yeah,
Okay, Joker, and I got your back
I don't
now.
know what he did. So
How much alcohol
Nomi,
did you have?
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Shield?
How much alcohol did you have before or after you sat through it all?
Oh, I haven't drank since. I haven't drank in 3 weeks.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
basically, she can just stare down Cthulhu and not go insane.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
can sit
I mean,
and
I've
watch
got
it
some
all
rum
day.
I can send your way if you like coconut rum.
It's all about the mental mind. If I can endure this, I can endure anything. So
Absolutely.
That's very brave.
Waterboarding, nothing. I
cannot-
got through
I
Secret
cannot
Invasion.
match that strength right now, Nomi. I cannot match it. So, so you got it all. You got it all in one shot, which is again that's impressive and horrifying at the same time. How did you feel? Did you feel a tremendous loss when Talos, one of the main characters on the fucking show, dies?
I mean, I was disappointed, but I was not surprised in being disappointed because I actually saw this happen. He's like, they're gonna kill him.
Yep.
They're now they're gonna make Gaia as the star of the end of the show, so she can rise and like avenge her dad's death.
Yep.
I could see it if he was actually like a mentor to her and it was like the hero's journey kind of thing. You know, the mentor has to go away in order for the hero to take their spot. But there was no real mentoring going on at all. It was just, they just were never like hanging out together.
She was girl boss and she had to get rid of the baggage.
Yep.
Right,
Unfortunately, the baggage was her dad.
Yep. And for the story to move forward. It was just, I don't know. Maybe it'll get good in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's got 2 episodes left, folks. In case you're not
You're a
aware,
very optimistic person.
There are only 2 more, and
I mean, they did get Don Cheadle to sign on to this, so.
What else has he been doing, dude?
I don't know. He was like in Ocean's 11 or whatever.
Are we still on Ocean's 11? I thought we were on Ocean's 20.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
He did that movie Hotel Rwanda like 20 years ago. Got Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's a bad actor.
I don't
honestly.
either.
No, but he's.
I want to know where Olivia Colman was.
Oh, she was doing Olivia Colman stuff. Hopefully, she
is my favorite freaking character in this entire series, and we got nothing of her this episode. Every other character, or every other episode, we've at least gotten like a 5-minute clip of this is what she's doing right now. But no, nothing. Yep. The president of the United States is about to be attacked, and she knows nothing about it.
Matt, I hope not. I hope not.
Matt, you're not wrong. That bottle of vodka is looking sweeter every minute that passes.
Yeah, I've got a way to make it even better. I saw a recipe where you could put Starburst powder and then like Jolly Rancher powder into the vodka, and it makes it like really good.
Mando, what are the words? Joker, help me. What is Mando doing?
I'm also
like mixed
children's drinks out of vodka. You're making children's drinks out of vodka.
Mags.
It's like mixing. It's like the gummy bears that you put the vodka in. You let the gummy bears soak in the vodka. It's really good.
Colson. I'd rather have Colson. No, I don't. So I actually on that, I'll save my drink recipes for after. Let's get through this stupid fucking show, of which there are 2 episodes left. So we got a lot of disappointment in this episode. Again, I don't know to call it's hard to say when you're talking about good and bad episodes of this particular series. I would say it was about on par with the last episode. It was, kind of just there. There was no Olivia Colman, which we talked about before, which is a negative aspect for me, given that she is, I think, everybody on the panel's favorite part of the show.
That torture scene is still my favorite.
The torture scene was of the entire series. That was the best scene. moving forward, I don't even know what the fuck Gravik's plan is. I don't know what he plans to do next. Gaia, we assume, is going to take over the role that Talos had filled. Nick's wife, who fucking cares? Rhodey,
probably never going to see her again.
Rhodey's not dead. Rhodey is still active. He still.
He spent this entire fight, if I recall, sitting in a car.
Yeah, he was just sipping on something and just sitting there, just looking with a smug look on his face, like, "See, I'm just here. I don't
like
know
scrolling his phone
anything."
or something.
Also, did anyone else notice that the president was the only one that got knocked out from the car crash?
Yep.
Like even the other people in his like,
you know why? Because he's fucking weak, Josh. He's fucking weak. He is a weak. God damn it, Jacob! That was not called for. That's just mean spirited. Really?
Yeah. Hold on.
Well, now we know who the real
Jacob
is.
Ironside for the win tonight, folks. Jacob Ironside for the win.
Well played, sir.
You have outdone yourself, sir. You have outdone yourself.
I love it.
Man, so apparently, yes, I was the Skrull. Let's take a look at the poll right now. And
Chad, I can't believe you.
Dempsey,
Joker,
I hate to tell you, the Moon Knight fight scenes are worlds better than what we're getting here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. And Moon Knight fucking blew. Moon Knight was a terrible show, but it was, I don't even know. I want to call it better than this. But the action sequences, I think, were better than this. The action sequences in that scene tonight, in episode 4, I know my anger for the episode is overwhelming my brain. And Jacob's picture is just so fucking hilarious. That is just
it's beautiful.
So good.
I want to frame it and put it up here.
I have to save this one. I may actually use it for the next episode. But so moving forward again. So help me.
Oh.
Guy is going to take over. Rhodey is still a player. We don't know where he is. And old ass Nick Fury is going to what? Is anybody else going to come into this series, or do you think this is it? What we've got is what we've got.
So there are legitimate rumors that there will be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters coming in at the end, and there are legitimate rumors that it'll be Chloe Bennett's Daisy Johnson or Quake, because some of this is kind of pulling from Secret Warriors, in terms of how they're dealing with Fury. And in the comics, there's a scene where she comes in kind of close to the end and has information. And the heroes in the comic, like Captain America and stuff, are like, "Who are you?" And she just says, "That's on a need-to-know basis only." But there's real world things that have been playing into this that have also been teasing it. So Chloe Bennett was supposed to be in that Powerpuff Girls remake. They filmed the pilot. It was not good. They were going to rewrite and refilm the pilot. When they were supposed to refilm the pilot is the same time they were supposed to film this, and she had to back out because of contractual obligations. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, she was in London around the time they were filming this. And then the past 2 weeks, she's been blowing up her freaking Instagram with pictures of Daisy in her mouth, reposting pictures of her Daisy tattoo, posting stuff with aliens. So
I have no idea what we're talking about at all right now, but I accept that.
Her name is Daisy.
I watched probably the first little bit of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I never really enjoyed the show because the show was problematic, because clearly the show was given the green light before the end of, or before Captain America Winter Soldier, which basically made everything you know what I mean? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. should have been a way cool show about actual fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Not this rogue element running around having adventures and doing whatever random shit they did. I wanted a Nick fucking Fury show, helicarriers, and they're out solving world's problems, and it just ended up being a lot of alien and dumb shit for me. That's the way I felt about it. I know
like this was marketed as Nick Fury's show. Like he's on the posters. He's supposed to be the main character.
Right.
It's supposed to be him, but then the entire time they've been just devaluing and demeaning and diminishing him as a character. Like the whole promotion was him. Like this was going to be a show about him, and all you've done is just beat the living daylights out of the poor guy.
Well, even
every show,
and then bringing in Quake will legitimize, because I said this during Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Meh when we saw Black Bolt, that they've now canonized the horrible Inhumans show, which the best part of that show was a CGI big dog.
Yeah, and you kind of remind me of two things of why people are saying Quake as well. For Inhumans and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Disney Plus, they moved where it's listed, so it was part of like Marvel Legacy, all the stuff that's Marvel products but not MCU. Well, now they've moved both products to Marvel specials and series. But for the Marvel.com's synopsis of MCU Nick Fury, they now are referencing things that took place in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mother dick.
I don't know how far you got into S.H.I.E.L.D. I would say it's the best Marvel show aside from Daredevil.
I think I got as far as Coulson realizing, or he remembered what happened to him, how they brought him back. But that was about it. Not very much, because it never really resonated with me.
I can give you an episode in season 1 to pick back up from, and it steps on the gas and gets really good shortly after that.
But I guess Patton Oswalt is in that show, right? And I fucking hate that little round motherfucker with a passion.
He's just one of those guys. Nobody character.
I want to strike in the face with a hammer every fucking time I see. I guess right in the fucking face.
I liked when Gabriel Luna was introduced as Ghost Rider.
Yep.
I don't know who that is, but I'll just accept it because
that was much later in the show.
No, I know who the fuck Ghost Rider is, Joker.
Roman, you said you don't know who Ghost Rider is?
You did say that.
Never mind. Everybody can please stop talking. So let's jump into the news real fast.
Well, real quick, I wanted to bring up something about this episode with Rhodey in it. Where in the F is the War Machine suit? Why is he not busting this thing out, murdering absolutely everybody?
Yeah, because he keeps threatening. He's like, I'm going to bring out the suit and I'm going to go on this. Yeah.
Plus, wouldn't it make sense to have Rhodey part of the motorcade?
Yeah.
Or the war?
Like the motorcade starts getting attacked, he should have popped the suit, like it's mobile or nanotech or whatever it is now, and he should have just wrecked them.
Yep.
But I mean,
whoa, wrecked him.
No, he just sits in a car and he just sits on whatever drink he's got. Like,
I apologize. I know.
Are we also sad now that we know for sure that it wasn't actually Rhodey that said, if Yugoslavia rolls their eyes one more time, I'm going to freaking carpet bomb them?
Yep, it was
a little
Rhodey.
bit. Yeah, that was one of the best lines in the show. But he hasn't been. I mean, obviously, Rhodey hasn't been Rhodey for a long time. But we just don't know when. I think your assumption as far as sometime after Endgame. I mean, that's the best we can do with it, and that's fine.
I think he got snapped.
But he came back.
No, he wasn't snapped.
He wasn't snapped because he was.
He wasn't. I don't remember. You know why I don't know? Because you're right. He didn't because he was in
Wakanda with them.
Yeah,
not only that he was in Wakanda,
and he also defied Thunderbolt Ross's order to arrest them all.
Yeah.
Right. Back when, and that was, I like, that was, there were parts of Endgame that I enjoyed. There's a lot of Endgame I didn't, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so why didn't he become War Machine, Shieldwall? Because they didn't have the fucking budget for it. That's why he didn't become War Machine. Which is, I think, probably the safest assumption as to why a lot of things didn't happen on the show. They just didn't. Actually, they probably did have the budget, but they spent it on
marketing.
I don't know, shrimp lunches. I don't know, other things, not the show itself.
Marketing and food.
So I wanted to just taking a quick look at the box office from this weekend, because that's a lot of fun. I enjoy this, and I know this is like one of your things as well. Indiana Jones is not doing good. This is this weekend's box office. We can look at the daily stuff in a second as well. Insidious, which I didn't know was coming out,
is beating Disney's butt, and I'm here for it.
Indiana Jones, its second week out, it got beat by a fucking movie I didn't know existed. And then Sound of Freedom still, that it's got a strong. It came in third. I'm rooting for this movie for a lot of different reasons. So I'm happy to see that. But then we go down the list. Let's trek down here. Don't know what that is. Spider-Verse still hanging there. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Don't care about Transformers anymore. I'm amazed anybody does. Little Mermaid, that fucking is still in the top 10. That's interesting.
I couldn't believe that.
Okay,
I still love that Little Mermaid is beating the Flash, though. I am loving that. It makes me happy.
I don't know what the fuck it is. And then way down here, out of the top 10, the Flash. What week is this for the Flash, guys? Is this week 3?
I'm looking at
3. Isn't it?
It looks like it's 4.
Flash is 27 days out.
4.
I'm looking at the most. I'm looking at the most updated one. This is the totals from yesterday. Mission Impossible is number 1. Sound of Freedom number 2. Insidious number 3. Indiana Jones number 4.
Wah wah.
With Indiana Jones still in.
I have a sound alert for that.
With Indiana Jones still in 4,600 theaters, making
$2
under
million.
Making under 500 million.
I hope Sound of Freedom beats it out. I hope it does.
Okay. So,
how much Joker?
Indiana Jones is making less than $500 per theater. Okay, Sound of Freedom. Sound of
2,900 theaters.
2952. It is making 1,500 per theater.
Oh yeah. Check, the numbers over here. So that's Joker. You know things. You look at these numbers a lot. Do you know how much it costs to make the Sound of Freedom? Do you have that number?
It was a $14 million budget.
No. That is that.
Okay.
I believe Angel Studios bought it for 40 mil.
40. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
so
then,
I mean,
but Insidious had a budget of $16 million.
Okay. So I mean, it's trucking along at 42. Indiana Jones domestically is making garbage. That's not a good number.
No,
that is a bad number, folks.
Oh,
and then we go down. The Flash domestically is a worse number, which I find amazing. Is that the Flash? I didn't highlight the wrong movie. No, that's the Flash. Yep. 105 million. I'll bet basically 100.
It has Michael Keaton as Batman in it.
With
this
movie in it.
So kids. So I am an elder. I mean, me and Shieldwall and I are two men of a certain age.
Likewise.
I mean, when the dinosaurs roamed, you like to tell us stories about that. But
it's true, and they were lovely, and you could make a delightful salad out of them. You put a little teriyaki on it; it's fabulous. So, back when I was a young man, I'll just put myself in my teens.
When I was a young one,
I thought the same thing.
Shut the fuck up, all of you! Stop!
This is not musical theater.
So I'm a teenager. Remember, I saw Last Crusade in theaters. I saw Batman.
89, right? 89.
89.
Yep.
The year I was born.
I was 19 years old. I think what year did Last Crusade come out?
89.
Yeah,
that was 89. So
I was already in the military when it came out.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. I was in the military. I came in under delayed entry. So I joined and then I shipped out later on because I was like, I need the summer. I gotta get some things to do. So think about this. Put yourself in the head of 19-year-old Roman of the Empire, Shieldwall Joker. In the year 2023, there's gonna be a movie with all these superheroes in it. They're going to bring Michael Keaton back to play Batman. Indiana Jones will still be in theaters fighting Nazis. but both these movies suck and no one is going to see them. You couldn't have sold me on that premise. You couldn't have sold me on that premise in my 20s. It seems absurd when you say the words out loud, but then that's our world now. That's our reality.
This was
these movies
easy money.
Numbers.
Putting Michael Keaton in there as Batman and having Indiana Jones, like easy money. It was an easy softball layup, and they just whiffed.
Yes, that is actually true. But yeah, they blew it. They blew it. I mean, for you younger panel members, you didn't. I mean, Batman '89 was such an event when it came out. I'm not a fan of it anymore. I don't particularly think it ages well. That's me. I have a lot of issues. Everybody knows that. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade
should have ended. Should have been it.
Was remarkable. That was the perfect ending to that character. And yet here we are. Here we are.
Green
the end of the quarter of the 21st century, the first year of the 21st century. Or the first quarter. Fuck my brain, and it doesn't matter. I'm trying to say something that doesn't make sense, but it made sense in my head when I started to say it. We're a long fucking time from those movies, though. And these movies that they're churning out are bad. You've made them bad. It's almost, again, it's hard for my brain to put the wires together as to how you guys in Hollywood, because it is you guys, it's not the fans, please don't blame us. You did this. And like the young folks, they weren't there. They weren't there, these many, many years ago. Most of them weren't even born yet when we were watching these movies. So for us older folk, I think the tragedy is worse because we were there and saw this stuff. And then to see what it's become now is it's a tremendous effort in failure is what it is.
I will also say, like, yes, I may be a young whippersnapper, but like I was being raised by my grandma. Like my first introduction to Batman was Michael Keaton, was Batman and Robin, were like a lot of the older '80s and even older style movies. And so, like, I also am a little upset. I don't like what they've done with modern day, like Star Wars, Batman, Superman, like Spider-Man. Like, quit rebooting Spider-Man. Toby is my Spider-Man. You won't change my mind. But even like a lot of my point is younger people also see it as well. Not as many, but like I was excited when I knew Michael Keaton was going to be in this. I was like, my first Batman. Like, he was my first Batman. Well, I did hate the Batman and Robin movie. It's still my first Batman, and the Batmobile was amazing.
But he did. I didn't go to see the movie. I just didn't. I didn't go see Indiana Jones either. But there was that much of me that was curious about the Flash movie. I was like, maybe, but then it didn't take very long. I mean, almost no time at all for that to unravel pretty rapidly as far as it's this, it's that, it was none of the things. I mean, I've had a couple people tell me, who was it? Left Eye Ego, who I like immensely. He and I get along very well. He enjoyed the movie. He thought it was all right. And I don't know when it's free and on HBO Max, and I've had, let's say, 7 to 12 beers, maybe half a bottle of bourbon, I'll sit down and I'll like go, fucking Michael Keaton, man. And then I'll fall asleep and I'll be happy.
Roman takes his mid-afternoon nap.
Yeah. So anyway, other things at the box office that were going on. This was a little bit weird. And I want to share this though, because I actually had a friend who had an experience with this. So there was a thing about AMC theaters, and when Sound of Freedom came out, a lot of the theaters, for some reason,
AMC
couldn't show the movie. And the AMC guys was like, this is bizarre. The movie, blah, blah, blah. But one of my friends, a close friend, not a guy who was going to just make shit up to say, hey, this was weird, because he didn't fucking know about that it happened anywhere else. He went to go see it in an AMC theater here in Southern California, and the theater was closed because the water wasn't working. on the premiere day of
Shocking
Sound of Freedom,
that happened.
or whatever day. It was just, and then you and then you look.
Didn't work that day.
You look
The
on
AC
Twitter,
didn't work.
and it wasn't just that theater. There were a lot of people complaining about AMC. And again, my friend didn't know anything about this shit. It wasn't like, oh, conspiracy. He just said, hey, he was kind of pissed off because the theater, because he had bought the tickets through Angel Cinema or Angel Productions.
Angel Studios.
Angel Studios. So AMC was being kind of a dick because they wouldn't give him his money back. And he was kind of pissed off about that. And that's why he was just telling me the story. And I'm like, oh, that's odd. But then I started seeing it other places. So I thought it was an interesting story. Like I said, it's kind of a little bit weird. Don't know what it was there something? I don't know. But I thought it was interesting.
I don't think that came from corporate because they know they can't afford to lose any kind of business whatsoever. They're right on the edge as it is.
Well, right, with the pandemic, like most AMC theaters are limping along. So I agree.
It was a curious phenomenon. That it was,
I mean, if AMC didn't want it, they could just say that they weren't gonna show it. They have every right to do that as a chain. But I think Shieldwall's right. They need too much money. We've got it showing at the local AMC here. Haven't been issues.
No, I mean it's playing now. It seemed like there was like a day that wasn't coordinated. I don't fucking know, because here's the problem, and this is you can call it a Roman of the Empire problem, and I'm fine with that. My brain is now wired because of the last few years that things that seemed fucking absurd are now entirely plausible. It's just that's what's happened to me. Yeah. I'm not a nuts. But like I said, things that did seem completely impossible, let's call it 5 years ago, in this year seem, well, that could happen. I'm not saying it's happened. I'm saying it could happen.
Yeah. I guess my only two remarks would be, if this is happening, it's more than just Sound of Freedom that's getting hurt. It's the theaters that's getting hurt. But, like I'm in my area's a smaller town, like my city that I go to for AMC. It's not a massive city. And they've got, I think, 12 screens in that. Like they've got 12 different screens. Really? So you're hurting every single film that's there. But also, if it was July 4th, if it was the date of release, realistically, it's probably people been like, I'm not fucking working. It's July 4th. Put a note on the door that says we have a water issue. Like, oh, good. Let's do it. All right, cool.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting. It was an interesting story. I just wanted to share it. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. A lot of people have thought this was pretty cool. So I got this from the Geeks and Gamers page. No shit, because you can see the big Geeks and Gamers above it. It's the new Wolverine costume. Is that the biggest one I can get? Yeah, there had to be a better way to say that.
That's what she said.
There we go. Let's try to. Sorry, everyone. So we've got the Wolverine costume. I don't think it's terrible. I also don't think. I think they could have done better. I don't like that it looks an awful lot like Deadpool's costume as far as construct goes. It looks like it's made of the same fucking stuff. It's just yellow and has some black parts on it. I wish it had a bit more of an individual look.
This is supposed to look like the animated series. This is supposed to look like the original Wolverine costume. I have no problem with. I have no problem now with that. My problem with this film is it's in the hands of Disney, and they have said that they are introducing multiverse. So this story
there's going to be some problems.
They're going to connect this back to the MCU.
Lazy plot holes, and it's just going to be. Bleh.
Well, I think the thing that I enjoy is they're actually putting Wolverine in his proper costume. Because
near proper, I think. I can't say full proper because I know I'm being.
He doesn't have in his actual costume. He doesn't have sleeves, and it's more brown. He doesn't have sleeves,
and he's not wearing the head because he's a star, and stars don't like to wear headgear.
I think you'll see the mask.
I think you will. I mean, because remember at the end of Wolverine Origins, you had him open that. Was that a bonus piece I don't remember.
It was
he opened the
post-credit
box
scene.
and it was the yellow
or deleted
costume
scene. It was a deleted scene.
And I was like, "Fuck, that looked really good. I wish they had included that in the movie."
But I believe that mask was more of the 80s look, that orange and brown costume.
The orange and brown was kind of the earlier. I can try and find my Wolverine comic,
80s.
but it was much more orangey.
Right.
And also Hugh Jackman's hair is really a lot more tame as well.
Yeah. Right. Costume wise, to me, it reminds me of the Astonishing X-Men run. It's more in line with that, just kind of how they designed it. I think people look, you can nitpick how close it is or isn't to comics. It's by far the closest thing to comics we've ever gotten. It's clear what's inspiring it. I know a lot of people are upset about the sleeves. I think this is actually more of a practical Hugh Jackman thing because he's been having skin cancer issues. I was happy with it.
Highlight. I've got my comic book cover of what he looked like. This is when he first appeared.
Give me a sec here. Let me not fuck this up. There we go.
So this was his first ever appearance in comics was against the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
So
and
you can see
the Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if anyone likes that comic, my LCS has that comic for sale, but it's slabbed and graded in thousands of dollars. I don't know. I think I'm the one person that might be the naysayer of this group of saying, like, I'm actually looking forward to this. I think it'll be fun. They've got the same writer that did the first two films.
I hope so, Josh.
It's gonna be rated R. And then I don't know if you've seen some of the other. It looks like they're just
okay. So Josh. Then I have a question. Then is this going to be released under a Marvel or Searchlight?
It's going to be released under Marvel, but you've got the same writer from the first two films coming in, so I think you're going to get a lot of the same humor. It's going to be rated R, and then Ryan Reynolds is pretty upfront. Like, if I don't get to do Deadpool the way I want to do Deadpool, I don't want to do it anymore. And I think he's a big enough star. I think he's got enough weight and power with this character that they realized.
Well,
fine, let's go for it.
But I mean, part of this is, part of what Ryan does with Deadpool is he improvs.
Yes.
Is he allowed to now?
Listen, I mean, one, they're not going to be filming at all right now. But even during the writer's strike, this whole they can't improv. Okay, if you really believe that Ryan Reynolds is there not doing improv, you're fucking
I'm
crazy.
just saying.
Yeah.
No, I know. I mean, let's look. We like to be like, oh, they can't do this. Are they really going to do that? How many times do I'll just say those people like to do as they say, not as I do. Right?
Correct.
I promise you 100% he is there. He is improving every freaking scene.
Okay. I tend to agree. I'm just like, well, you know.
Even if he's not, if it's a costume scene, post. You just pick it up and post. Like it's
Well, I'm hoping. I'm just gonna leave it there. I like Wolverine. Wolverine is one of my favorite characters. I actually have a whole block in my action figure fucking thing. I'm gonna try to do something here, and I hope I don't fuck it up, and I probably will. You may or not be able to see.
I just hope that the fat kid from the second movie is
you can't see it. You can't see it. Never mind.
No, he's.
I have a whole Wolverine thing. I have a whole block that is just Wolverine stuff.
I hated that character so much.
I've just never really liked Deadpool. I think he is an extremely overrated character.
Mm-hmm.
My top two are Spider-Man and Wolverine. Like, those two have always had the top, like, my favorite superheroes, and like they're almost polar opposites, but like I like them both equally for different reasons.
I guess my thing too with Deadpool is like all the shit that we've been getting from the multiverse that has been making us sick that we don't want to see. The one property I don't mind watching it in is Deadpool.
Because he always breaks the fourth wall.
Deadpool is zany.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a cameo for the sake of making a like butt of the joke type of joke, Deadpool's where you need to do it. Like there's a time and place. That's where it should be. Your rest of your stuff, either stop doing multiverse or actually tell stories about, like a shadow self or whatever. What if this happened instead?
Yeah. Nomi, what do you got on this?
I'm actually looking forward. I have a voice. I can talk. I'm looking forward to it because I am interested. I do like Deadpool. I do love how Ryan Reynolds does not give a fuck about anything that needs to be done.
She likes Ryan Reynolds.
I do like Ryan Reynolds.
Everybody likes.
I actually like his Mint Mobile commercials too.
Yeah, they're funny. But yeah, like the fact that he's just like kind of like a free spirit, literally does not give a fuck, and he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. And I don't think that he's gonna follow the rules of you can't ad lib or imprompt anything because writer's strike. He's gonna do what he wants. It's Ryan Reynolds,
right?
So, yeah,
but
I'm looking forward to it.
I have a question. For the panel here. So Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling,
both Canadian.
Which one do you prefer?
Neither.
Reynolds,
a 1,000%.
Yeah,
I mean Reynolds should by default because he was the best part of the third Blade film. So
agreed. Josh, what do you got on this?
I was just gonna say, are you not excited that we're getting Jennifer Garner as Elektra?
No.
Why do you need to bring that up? It was going so well, and then you had to bring that up. You had to bring literally the worst fucking film that has almost ever been done superhero-wise and drag it into our fucking world, Josh.
So this is
Godzilla Roman is back, everyone. Godzilla Roman is back. Destroy his studio again.
This is hitting the Harry Potter level.
Smash. You know what? I would rather watch Elektra than the Flash.
Well, agreed. There's there are a lot of things that I would rather watch than
I'd rather watch paint dry than certain movies.
Most things, quite honestly. But no, that was a terrible fucking decision. I'm sure it will be comedic in some fucking way. They're gonna have to make it comedic, right? Because it was such a fucking shit show. Maybe they can bring Ben fucking Affleck back as fucking Daredevil too. My God, that would be hilarious. But I would prefer it if they didn't. I may have had a stroke. So it's
again.
I'm just gonna say, if they were ever on a Marvel Fox property, expect to see them if they were a lead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just throwing it out there.
It's okay.
I gave examples on our Tuesday night show. I gave examples of why I think this could be fun because there were some other set photos that released that I won't give details of, but you can tell they're clearly shitting on 20th Century Fox or Fox.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. No, I saw that as well.
And I think it'd be funny, and I think you could have scenes like if for whatever reason, since this is the multiverse, we know the TVA's in here, we got it. If they end up going to the fan-tastic world and you have Deadpool appear and he's like, no, nuke this fucking place. We're not doing like if you get stuff like this, and this is the type of stuff that these writers have delivered. I mean, like
a lot, Mags.
Yeah, because even if you look at Deadpool 2 when he's fighting Cable and he's like, why are you so angry? This isn't the DC universe. I feel like you're gonna at least. Will it be a good movie? Will you have fun and laugh? Sure.
And quite honestly, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's the Deadpool movies aren't fucking fantastic cinema. They are amusing superhero movies.
Agreed.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that. So actually, in Zach's with his Nathan Fillion comment brought us here. What in the fuck is this shit?
Sky Gardner.
Looking at the Superman Legacy casting.
I mean, he's
two people I don't know, and Nathan Fillion.
Sky Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as Guy Gardner. So Isabella Merced, who I don't know.
That is Dora the Explorer, sir. How dare you?
Yes.
He's not a cartoon.
Dora the Explorer.
You know what I have to say about Dora? I say, fuck that fucking monkey and fuck that fucking
backpack.
All right, Roman.
Yeah.
And then the other guy.
Is that how you really feel about brown people?
How do you even know about that?
No, I didn't. No, don't. Damn it. No, I don't know who that lady is. This guy reminds me of the dude from Look at Me, I'm the Captain Now. I don't know what the fuck he's done.
Okay, that guy. Okay, that guy was in. He was in X-Men First Class. He was Darwin.
Yeah.
Really?
Now,
maybe then this is not a good picture.
So
that's why I don't know who he
I
is.
feel like I am.
So, shiny.
So
He's very shiny.
I am hoping that we're gonna see that if these characters these are in some mid end credit scenes, kind of like what James Gunn did with his Guardians films. Because if they're going to be in the main story, this is now an ensemble piece, not a Superman story, and that is a huge red flag.
So I don't have the link for this, Joker, but I saw another, movie news.
So she's going to be a hot girl.
Yeah, she's going to be hot girl. I'm like, let me get my one thought out first. Well, I have it in my head because I'm very old, so it could leave at any moment. God damn it! Nope, it's gone. Fuck it. So it was no. Have you guys been watching Barry? Have anybody else watched Barry? You need to fucking realign your fucking lives. Barry is actually a good show. Not like the shows we usually watch, guys. Barry is a fucking good show. It's about a military guy who becomes an assassin, and there's a comedic edge to it. Henry Winkler's in it.
I heard the last season was not good, though. Like I heard
it wasn't fantastic, but it was still better than most of the stuff you're watching right now. So I'll throw that out there. But there's a character on there. He's a Ukrainian, Noho Hank. He's probably my favorite character on the show, actually. But they've made him more fucko. I fucking don't remember the name of the character. He's a dude in the DC universe who can transform certain parts of his body.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Fantastic.
Metamorpho, not Metafucko. That's funnier, but it's not in this movie. Well, that's probably in the porn version.
That's done, but that is played by the guy who played Zaz in Gotham.
I don't know what that is. I will accept this. There are a lot of things I haven't seen, for self-preservation largely. Anyway, and I agree with what you're saying. They seem to just kind of be dumping a lot of stuff, and I'm hoping it doesn't turn into. There's an awful lot of stuff in this punch, and I don't know what it is, and I don't want to drink it. So, you know what I mean? It's just like, just do a good Superman story with Lois. It doesn't have to be this giant fucking thing.
I am hoping I've been optimistic about Gunn's universe on this, and if it sucks, I'm going to be really upset, and I will roast the hell out of it. But I am really hoping for a Man of Tomorrow story where the main bad guy is not really Lex Luthor. He gets introduced, but Superman is up against Parasite and Lobo. I think that is the story that I would like to see on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get.
I think we do know based on how they've described and the fact that you've got Batman and he's gonna have all of his Robins already. I think what we're gonna do, and the reason, I guess let me put it this way: I think we're gonna get introduced to a world where superheroes are already existing and they're just gonna kind of be there in the background and very much bit players, way less than the JSA was in Black Adam. That is my suspicion. I think this is even Gunn himself said this is very much a Superman and Lois film. And even if they are there, Gunn tends to handle ensembles relatively well. So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt.
I love Peacemaker. I thought Peacemaker was an awful lot of fun. There were aspects of it that I thought were clunky, but overall, I thought it was a very enjoyable show. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Eagly obviously was the best part.
Eagly was the best part of the show.
I never watched it. I never
Oh,
watched
it's
that
freaking
show.
hilarious, man.
I hate John Cena, so I just can't.
no.
So it started out, it has like a lesbian character, and I was like, oh, this is going to be god awful. But I liked her by the end. She was good in it.
Yes,
the motivations
yes. Get it out of your
everything.
systems.
I love play a lesbian
because she
character.
wasn't perfect. She was very flawed.
I think the other thing to note too is we're getting all these announcements from these studios and pictures and whatnot from these shows. I would say keep it.
Well, the strike. We don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
Well, right. I think it's partially to get ahead of the strike, but also like keep in mind that
Right.
Comic-Con, most of this stuff was going to get announced at Comic-Con. So
Which is now not happening.
Not anymore.
No, fuck. Well, remember, for those of you that are keeping score, I talked about it last week. Fucking no one's. When I say no one, none of the studios are coming to Comic-Con.
Nope.
They aren't. It is gonna be the hall or the big room where everybody has their merch and the stuff. People wandering around dressed in cosplay and all, doing all the stuff. But your Hall H stuff is basically fucking dead. But that also means within the big room itself, you're gonna have limited stuff from you'll have the toys and stuff, but the studios usually set up their sections of the big room where they're going to be displaying things from shows that are upcoming and stuff. That's not going to be there. All that's going to be gone. So you're going to have a big room full of fucking nerds, comics, and toys, which I'm fine with personally, but I don't know what that's going to do to Comic-Con. Remember, everybody bought their ticket already. They're fucking stuck with their tickets, whether they decide to go or not, because these people are not coming. Doesn't fucking matter. The Comic-Con tickets are bought and paid for. I tried to back out last year because they had that fucking requirement or not last year, 2021. They were still doing the fucking thing. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. And so I lost $160 because I didn't go to Comic-Con. And I think they actually did it again last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was last year.
Doing it.
2021 was the November. 2021 was the
that's
November
right. So it was last year. Okay,
Well,
yeah.
didn't they,
But they were still doing that fucking requirement. I was like, there's no fucking way. I'm not going to wander around. It was just.
Sell the
I have. What's that, bud?
Didn't they sell the tickets and then drop that requirement after
Yes,
they
did.
sold them? Yeah.
Yes. And then you didn't. And by the time you realized it was a thing, well, it said in the tiny print on page 15 of your fucking thing. All right, fine. Fuck it. But I didn't go. Like I said, and you can't give your tickets to anyone anymore because it's all based on there's a lot more to tickets to Comic-Con than it was in the old days. It's
Well, it's
a
all
whole
digital
layered
now, right?
nightmare fucking thing. Anyway, so I'm not going to Comic-Con. If anybody else ends up going to Comic-Con eventually, I am here in San Diego, and I'd love to wander around with you downtown. There's an awful lot of stuff outside the convention center as well, like a lot of cool shit. So it's still worth going downtown. You have to avoid the zombies of the East Village, which are not actual zombies, but you wouldn't know that. But it's still a cool time. So anyway, I've got two more bits of news left. Actually, we'll just talk about one bit of news. I'm going to skip the Star Wars stuff, and I'm going to jump right to Barbie just because time is not my
Thank you, because
friend
I'm going to lose my. I'm actually going to watch it.
Oh.
I'm going to watch all of Ahsoka because she was one of my favorite characters, and I want to rage.
Mm-hmm. Mando, I'm right.
Yes,
there with
yes,
you, girl.
yes, Pops. You can bring a backpack. Simu, who is one of my least favorite non-stars in Hollywood, felt the need to say something stupid.
Shocking.
And it's like, why in a time when movie viewership, even movies that are supposed to be blockbusters, Indiana Jones.
This is the
Flash.
third cast member. This is the third
Yes.
cast member now that has opened their fucking mouth.
Everyone
And
liked
they
the
keep
Barbie
saying
movie until
stuff.
the cast members started talking.
Yep. No, because you didn't give a fuck about any of this stuff. It was just, it's a fun, goofy movie with I like Margot Robbie. I think I've liked her in just about everything she's been in because she's cool. I fucking hate Ryan Gosling in just about everything he's been in for opposite reasons. So, but then I didn't realize Shimu was in this. And I don't think about him a lot. When I say a lot, I mean almost never, because it's just not in my mind. He's not a star of relevance. But then he feels the need to speak, probably because he wasn't getting enough attention, or he was sad. I don't know. But then he needs to say he was stupid. I don't understand the motivation here. Again, in an age when movies are dying,
money
for they hate the fans, do they hate the movies? Do they not want to work? I don't help me. No, it's not. It's my hatred of Ryan Gosling is greater than my hatred of Backpack. And it's not backpacks as a plural. It is backpack specifically in the Dora the Explorer world. I don't like the little characters. I don't like the singing. I don't like the songs. I don't like the repetitiveness. I got a lot of.
I mean, it's a kid show. It's to be repetitive.
Yeah, and
I think Blue's Clues. I wish someone would euthanize Blue. That's how I feel about Blue's Clues at this point.
Gosh, Ryan.
Dang.
What did I say? What did I say? Was it
anyway? Blue the kid.
So
Roman, just to give you a little more insight on Barbie, would you like me to tell you who else is in this? Gravik.
Oh God. You're fucking kidding me.
No, he's he's a Ken as well.
Oh. Wow. One, I didn't know that actor existed before Secret Invasion.
I've seen him in something else. He's been in a couple things.
I guess if you need a emotionless, expressionless character to portray a doll, then that actor is probably good because he doesn't do any of those things. So it should be fine. So Barbie. It's funny because I know my son wanted to go see this because I don't know. That generation seems kind of excited about this movie. I'm going to go see Oppenheimer because that's more my speed. At least I'm going to try to go see Oppenheimer. I almost never make it out of the house these days, but I'm going to try to go see Oppenheimer because that to me looks like it should be a legitimately interesting movie. I have no interest in the Barbie movie, and I know it's not about the children's toy. It's about whatever the fuck it's about. And it's probably going to be funny for people who find that kind of thing funny. Am I frozen?
You're freezing a little bit. I might actually go see it because when I was younger, my little sister was a huge Barbie fan, and she collected all of them, and she made me go see the Barbie movie, the animated Barbie movie, when it came out a long time ago. So it would remind me of my little sister, even though she's living so far away and stuff. It was a thing that she and I did.
Whoops! What did I just do?
Farnsworth, yes.
There we go. Okay. So anyway, it's actors saying dumb things has been a real problem, it seems, for Hollywood. So Megs, you're going to see Barbie and Oppenheimer. You're very.
Yeah.
I don't have the time.
I'd rather go see John Wick 4 again.
Have you seen the memes for that, where the two movies are
Yes,
I like the mashups.
Yeah.
The mashups I think are a lot of fun. Probably a lot more fun than the actual Barbie would be to a man of
correct
my
me
age.
if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't actors not that long ago, didn't they have clauses in their contract where this is what you can talk about, this is what you can't talk about?
And I don't think that's a terrible thing.
It protects the studio.
No, well, it protects. It does, exactly. If you go out and you say something dumb like Simu Liu did, you're damaging. You're making a block of people who were interested in seeing your goofy movie say, you know what, I don't want to see this movie now because I'm getting this strange and out of place thing pushed my way. It's why. So I don't know. I thought it was.
I was going to say, if I can weigh in on this, what you're saying, Roman, is that, yeah, at first, when I first heard that they were making a Barbie movie, and then I saw the first trailer, I was not sold on it. And then now suddenly I am excited to go see it. I did hear the director's goal for the movie, and it just sparked the Kindle in me. Like, you know what? I do want to go see it. I'll see it with my girlfriends, and we have tickets to go see it. But this guy had to open his mouth and like, okay, cool. Like, you kind of stole my anticipation to watch this movie.
But didn't he basically say that he played with dolls when he was a kid? That's basically what the article said. I was like, okay, whatever, man.
Well,
I mean, that's fine. Like, my brother growing up,
it doesn't matter.
My older brother growing up stole my Barbies, and they were the damsels in distress, and he was playing with his G.I. Joes, saving the Barbies.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen,
G.I. Joe needed bitches. Clearly.
I did that with my cousins' Barbies, except there might have been fire and razor blades involved. So.
Speaking of cool Barbie girls,
Roman,
Joker, bring back your shirt. Bring back your shirt.
Yes,
bitches.
Yes.
Roman, I sent you 2 pictures if you want to look at them. They're on your Twitter DM.
Are they in Twitter? Give me one moment.
And I'll, while he's pulling that up, I'll say,
my next paycheck, I'm gonna get one of those Joker. I promise.
I'm so bad at computing.
As a fair warning to those out there that want to play with dolls, some family friends of ours had a daughter who had a Barbie, what was the cars you could drive as a kid?
Okay.
Power Wheels.
Right?
Yeah. She had a Barbie Power Wheels. Well, I drove that and I turned out gay. So look, fair warning.
Fair enough. So wait, oh my God, it's him. It's Gravik.
Wow.
So they're all Skrulls.
They're all Skrulls. Oh man. Okay,
so here's my hope for this movie.
All right.
If at the very end G.I. Joe doesn't show up and steal Barbie, I'm gonna be pissed, because that is how it always went down when my cousins played with because you remember the old G.I. Joes that were like this, they were big, 12 inches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't the little plastic.
No, I had all that stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw this picture earlier and I didn't understand it.
It's Mermaid Ken.
I thought is this part of the movie?
I don't understand.
You
you said the words and I still don't understand.
Oh no, it's my understanding that it's part of the movie.
Wow.
Why does he look like he's wearing a rubber muscle suit?
That's John Cena.
That's just John Cena.
No, I thought they put that on him to make him look more plastic or something.
They might have put makeup on his arms or something in a certain way. But
yeah, they contoured his
I
we broke Roman.
We broke him. We broke Roman again.
It's hot. He's got no air. The ball fan it is hot. I've had at least 7 drinks during the course of the show. I don't understand what the fuck a mermaid Ken is. I guess it's a merman Ken.
It was
he can't
the
be a
mermaid
mermaid
line of Barbie.
Yeah, there was like a whole movie about her being a mermaid, and he was. Yeah.
Wait,
what? I forget about the Barbie animated movies all the time, and my sister and I used to watch them together, even though I wasn't into Barbies.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna be okay with that. I'm gonna be
okay.
Well,
you got 2 females who played with Barbies growing up. I'm not pointing at Josh, but
I mean, Josh might have. You never know.
Okay, well, you might as well make it 3 then.
Did you guys have a merman?
I mean, Power Wheels. Come on now.
It's true. But yeah, we grew up playing with Barbie, so yeah, we understand. Okay, if John Cena's Barbie or Mermaid Ken, okay, that makes sense.
It just fits. It's just okay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because in Barbie, your imagination is the only limitation on anything Barbie.
Yes.
Did you just make a commercial, Mando? Because that's what you did. Disney
hire me.
So conversely, after I saw Jaws when I was fucking 5 years old and shouldn't have, my G.I. Joes then became Roy Scheider and Quint, and they were hunting a giant shark for a lot of the time.
Oh, I thought they just sat around a table getting drunk talking about when the Indianapolis got torpedoed.
No, that's what I do. I have become the adult version of my toys, where I sit around a table and sing
the jokes.
Show me the way to go home.
My favorite animated Barbie movie is still The Nutcracker.
I haven't seen any of the
sounds like
animated
a
ones.
Picking dudes in the junk.
No. It was literally
That's like Loki episode 2, the Nutcracker.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was a Barbie story where they do the Nutcracker, like not literally cracking
Stop
nuts.
saying those words together, Mando.
Why do I do this
Ooh,
myself?
also, real quick, Barbies and easy bake ovens do not go together.
This is true.
Easy bake Barbie?
Yeah. Well,
Hey, what? That doesn't smell like a chocolate chip cookie. That smells like burning plastic.
It's fantastic.
Did you discover them and put them in a
Again,
little
so
pot?
many jokes. I'm not gonna go anywhere near. It's just
Oh God. I want you. Oh dear. Well, no, $6 Million Man. He also needed friends. One, he had that really bad eye.
you could look through it, right?
You could look
Yeah,
through it.
I mean,
But it
Back his head
actually
up
didn't
and look
really
through it, yeah.
do anything. It was just you just looking through a hole in his fucking head, which was peculiar. And then they made the Sasquatch, and there was a lot of other stuff. Anyway,
I think he had a thing with his
Bionic
arm to pick
Bigfoot.
off and see like the cybernetics
Bigfoot,
underneath
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and you could buy like more advanced versions as time went on.
And
And,
then-
I'm
and then the
I
other
was
and
so
then
fucking nerdy.
and then another network made a show called the Bionic Woman. So there were two
Yes.
separate networks that eventually crossed over, and that was the reason Stan Lee created She-Hulk, so no one else could.
Yeah.
And
She-Hulk
I don't-
became
I-
a fabulous show.
And sadly, I don't want to thank Stan Lee for that, because down the road he could not have foreseen
And see this point
the
here
terrific horror show that was She-Hulk.
that Mags is making this point here, and a lot of other people's comments in there, and even from what I did when I was a kid, there are a lot of boys out there that have actually played with Barbies because it was their sisters or relatives, but they used them as girlfriends for the men dolls. Maybe
Yeah.
they put
Mhm.
Wait a
doctor
minute.
or whatever.
This sounds like this. With the way this conversation doesn't sound good to the casual listener. It's there are things being said which I don't think heard through.
We're not
the
talking about
normal
blow up
ear.
dolls, Roman. We're talking
Nobody
about
knows that.
actual.
Nobody knows that. It's being
Bow,
used
chicka,
as a
wow,
girl-
wow.
I said Barbie dolls.
You did say Barbie
Lonely
dolls.
man with the blow up doll.
Does
Sorry,
it look like Margot
Did we say
wrote,
blow up dolls?
But my point is
Blow up dolls.
that Barbie is a cultural icon
Yes.
for not just girls, but for boys as well, but for different reasons. And because
fair
what I want to say is that I think maybe the ideals of what a woman should be that a guy gets in her head, they get from playing with that doll when they were little, which might be a complaint that modern women have, but oh well.
I was just to say.
Roman, did you check your pulse?
I'm a little worried. I'm concerned. So on that note, guys, because I do need to close it down here, as I've crossed over my time barrier for the evening of the Empire, so that I don't end up being the ex-Roman of the Empire, which would be bad for all of us. So that's a weird place to end, but I think it's kind of appropriate for this show. It's pretty much on par with the rest of the evening. So I want to thank everybody for coming by tonight. Thank you to the panel, and thank you very much to the chat. We had some really just fantastic stuff coming in from everyone out there, and I may be having a stroke, Mags. Thank you for noticing. It's nice to be noticed. But you guys were great as always. We're gonna go around the horn real Roman of the cardiac. We'll go around the horn real fast and see what everybody else has going on for the upcoming week. Shieldwall, what do you got coming up, bud?
Hey, great show today. Thanks to the panel and to the chat, and also this multicast thing. The way it links up the chat in here, make it a lot easier to highlight those, is pretty cool. I kind of like that, so that everybody from the other chats can participate, which is nice. I guess next Thursday, if you're doing a show, I guess maybe that.
Oh, we'll be here. We've only got 2 more to get through. Serenity now.
And anything else that comes up, I'm not gonna be able to make the I guess the 1-year anniversary for the cannolis on Friday. Yeah.
Tomorrow,
yeah, I won't be able to do that. So, but hopefully everyone will be able to stop by and check that out. Yeah, thanks for having me on. A great time. And hopefully I'll get to see the new Mission Impossible movie here sometime coming up this week.
Right on.
And get caught up on that. So, but yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been fun. Appreciate it.
Right on, brother. Thank you for being here. Joker, what do you have coming up this week?
Oh boy. Well, tomorrow morning I drop my review of this dumpster fire. And then 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be over with this lady down over yonder for Friday night's Royal Rumble over on Legion Talk, where I will be simulcasting from there as well. And then once that show is over, I will be hopping over for my time slot over with the 1 year for Cannoli Sasquatch and the misses. After tomorrow, there is 1 day left to get in on.
Do the shirts.
So, 100% of the proceeds of that is going to the Stuttering Foundation of America. So, I've seen lots of people showing their shirts off, so it's been a good thing. So we'll see how that goes. But again, Saturday is the last day, so get it now.
Right on, yeah. So everybody's data is shared down in the details of the show. So hop on over to Joker's link and you can get those cool shirts. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I got lost in thought briefly. I'm back. That's what that sound was, in case you're curious. Nomi, what do you got coming up? And thank you for being with us. Thank you for enduring this. So many episodes so close together. I'm still impressed and terrified at the same time. It's amazing. So
pain is just weakness leaving the body. So that's
your sanity.
And my sanity. It just goes to show that I can be a tough bitch and endure any type of pain. But I have 3 back-to-back streams tomorrow. One, a new show called Pulse Pounders.
Well then,
I like it already. Amazing,
ma'am.
Sign me up.
You did say pulse, right?
I did say pulse. Not my idea, but we'll be talking. Well, it's a stream of girls. We're gonna take over movies, and we're taking over shows, and we're taking over shows and movies, and we're gonna give our take as females on guys in them. So we're reviewing The Extraction 1 and 2, and so
so it's a thirst site,
basically, yes. But
subscribed.
Yeah.
Where is it? I must know. I want to subscribe.
Yeah, Josh, come hang out. We'll love to have you.
Yeah, where is Nomi? Where's this going to be?
You can follow. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll be retweeting it. Okay. It's a girl named Anna. I was connected to her with another mutual friend, so we're like, "Hey, girls, let's just talk about this, about guys, and
hell yeah,
let's take back on movies and shows, and the guys take about the girls and movies and shows. Why don't we talk about them?" So that's what we're doing.
Do a tier list.
I think that's what we're planning on doing that. And then after that, I will be with Joker Voice on Friday Night Royal Rumble. And then after that, I will be on Abilsome Musings with Samuel the Infamous.
Wow.
Right.
So yeah, 3 shows.
That is fantastic. Excellent. That's a lot. At first you did today with all the secret, and then tomorrow with the marathon of streams. You're a champ. It's impressive. When the world ends, you will be there. So yes. That's
there is a meme, and it's like a metal lawn chair or just a metal chair over like a campfire, and it says, if anyone if any wants to survive the apocalypse, it's Mexicans, and there's tortillas on top of the metal side.
I've seen that.
And that's me. Yes, so I can survive anything.
That's exactly.
Yeah. Now I know what happens when the zombie apocalypse is coming. I'll be like, hey,
I'll feed you guys.
Yes. I've got pew pews.
Josh McDonald, Pop by Culture.
Yes,
what do you got coming up, bud?
So Saturday morning, I'll be on Thinking Critical with Wes for Comics Aficionados. Sunday night, I'll be with Max Von Priestley for Max's Man Cave.
Oh, cool. Monday
night, I will be with Flaccid Phoenix for what's that? Premature Ejection. I almost called it Circle of Jerks. Tuesday, I will have my show on Pop by Culture, Culture Popped, and Thursday I'll be back here with Roman. So that's
awesome.
Yeah, right on. Gosh, busy. I'd like to be busy, but then I'll get divorced, and then I won't be able to afford the internet. So you get once a week for now. Mando. What do you got coming up?
Busy bee. So tomorrow I have my Sea of Thieves stream. That is where you can redeem on my Twitch channel take a rum shot. So a lot of people for some reason like to see me as a drunk pirate. Because why not? Saturday, I will be doing my show Literary Souls, where we talk about books, literature, and literature adjacent things. We're going through the next Halo book. It's Contact Harvest. I'm going through the Halo book series right now. We recently got done with just kind of some classics that I was reading. And then after the Halo series, I'm going to finally do the Wheel of Time series. This Sunday, I will not be having my podcast with Wicked Virtue. That is every other Sunday. So we are skipping this next Sunday, but the Sunday after that, Wicked and I will be doing Unplugged with Wicked and Mando, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Monday, I'll be doing my normal KOTOR stream. Tuesday, I'll be streaming something. Who knows? And the next Thursday, I'll be here, and we're just doing it all again.
Right on.
You'll see me around different streams and chats. I'm kind of all over the place.
It's all awesome, and like I said, everybody's info is
it's a puppy.
So please go over, because everybody is super busy except for me, who is busy with other things. It's fine. Everything's fine. So with that and with this, thank you for being with us tonight, talking about this show. We will be coming back next Thursday to talk about episode 5, one of the final 2 episodes of this magnificent series, where we'll find out a lot of questions answered, maybe like what the fuck, Rhodey, and does any of this really matter in the end? My suspect answer is probably not, but it gives us something to do. So thank you for tuning in with us tonight. Thank you, chat. Thank you, panel. This is a lot of fun as always. And remember, fuck, I didn't set anything up. Am I retarded? How do I fucking get through my fucking day?
Remember, don't be like Roman.
He is a professional.
You